Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my NRL round number 20 tips. We get into the final couple months of rugby league, kicking off on Friday night. No footy on Thursday night as we have Origin on Wednesday between Newcastle Knights and the Tigers at McDonald Jones Stadium. So the first game sees Newcastle Knights playing against the West Tigers. Now the Knights are coming off a bye after beating the Bulldogs 66-0 just 2 weeks ago. Bradman Best has been named to back up from State of Origin from Wednesday night. It'll be interesting to see just how tough of a game it is and whether he does back up. I'm just having a little bit of a look at the reserves, and you've got Hymel Hunt and Nrl Round could definitely come in my opinion, to the centre position for him. Massive boost for the West Tigers in Api Koroisau returning to that jersey number 9. I think that's a really big in. Brenton Aiden has been named on the reserves, and Alex Twal returns to the side via the bench. Well, look, they were really good defensively in the first half, and they kept it close against the Cronulla Sharks before the Sharks run away with it. They're just that type of team, that flat track bully. They can put some big scores on against them weaker sides. But I think Koroisau coming back into the side is massive for the Tigers as well. So look, as much as the Tigers can defend this game and can give the Knights a bit of a fight, I think the Knights will win, but I don't think it'll be that 13-plus victory that the home fans are wanting. This isn't the type of game where I see, the Knights picking up a victory 40-6. So I'm going to go Newcastle to win by 10. I'm going to go the Knights to win 26 points to 16. And look, he might not even back up from Origin, but my first try scorer, I'm going to go with Bradman Best to score the first try if he's running off that confidence of Wednesday night. Next up, you've got the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs versus the Broncos. Now, this game is at Belmore at 3 o'clock. Bulldogs fans will be looking forward to this one. They're coming off a nice win, 36-32 against the Rabbitohs last week. The Broncos are coming off the bye. They are still without Reece Walsh. Patrick Carrigan has been named on the reserves. He's not named to start. Kobe Hetherington has been named to start. Kurt Capewell is in for the Broncos, so, a big boost there. Into their forward pack that is a little bit under strength without Payne Haas and potentially Patrick Carrigan for this game. Ethan Kye-Ward, who had a really nice debut for the Bulldogs, and Ryan Sutton out for this game. The bench is Flanagan, Moran, Tavita Pangai Jr. and Jaden Ockenbaugh. Jackson Topine comes into the back row. And that's about it for this Bulldogs side. It was a nice debut for the Bulldogs from Toby Sexton. I thought he played really, really well. Averillo looks great at fullback. I think it's going to be something we're going to see for at least a few weeks. And he does leave the club. I can't remember. I think it's the Dolphins that Jake Averillo heads to next year. I think it was the Dolphins. I remember he signed a new contract with a new club. But look, while he's there, he's going to make the most of it. They're coming off a win. Bit of confidence. They're at the home crowd as well. The Broncos, for mine, they haven't been playing their best footy and they've still got another level. They're missing some players. I expect this game to be tight. I don't think it will be a 13-plus. I'm going to go the Brisbane Broncos by 4. Yes, I'm going to go a close one. I think at Belmore, I think the Bulldogs defensively conceded a lot of points last week. They'll be disappointed in that. They'll be great about the result, getting 2 points. But I think they're going to fight really hard here. I'm going to go the Broncos to win, 22 points to 18, a bit of a high scorer one there. And Ezra Mam is going to be my first try scorer for this game. I just think the Broncos, even though they'll be away from home, they'll find a way to win this game. Kind of like that game against Newcastle where they were at home. They were struggling. They might struggle against this Bulldogs team that, has a bit of confidence off that win. But ultimately, the Broncos to win by 4 points. The next game is at 4 Pines Park. It is the Manly Sea Eagles taking on the North Queensland Cowboys. Now, as for the Cowboys, Kyle Felt has been named on the reserves in jersey number 18. Their bench is Granville, Neem, Tamalolo. So Ruben Cotter starting at lock, Tamalolo coming off the bench, and Finu Fuaki. And then Ben Travojevic is out for the Sea Eagle. Jacob Arthur on the reserves with Sean Kepi. Dean Madison, Ryan Madison's brother, has been named to make his debut in the NRL for the Sea Eagles. So, good luck to him, hoping he has a blinder here. Look, the Cowboys, man, they're riding a lot of momentum. We always say that the Cowboys aren't very good in Sydney, and it's, they're starting to wave that factor away this season. They're a very different team to what we saw at the start of the year come this point of the season. As for Manly, haven't been convincing, but they've been able to get some victory. Good win against the Dolphins, a very close win against the Roosters, went right down to the wire. You can't be doing that. It'd be interesting to see if Cherry Evans, which I think he will, backs up for this side, considering they are fairly close to a final spot. And, they have that advantage because they've got that point from the draw with the Knights. But in front of a home crowd, this should be a good game. I think both of these teams can compete defensively. I don't think that there will be too many points in this one. I'm going to go the Cowboys, though. I like what they've been doing. I like Scott Drinkwater from the back. He's been one of the best players in the comp in the last month, and very unlucky not to get a spot in that bench in Origin. It is Gutho's spot. I'm going to go the Cowboys by 10. I'm going to go the Cowboys to win 20 points to 10. I do think this will be low scoring. I back both of these teams defensively to have a close game. I'm going to go first try scorer, a bit of a roughie here. I'm going to go with Cohen Hess from the Cowboys to score the first try from the front row. And at any time, I like the Manly centre Cooler at $3.75. But sorry for the Manly fans, I think the Cowboys can get the job done over the Sea Eagles here. The next game is from the SCG, as Allianz is looking to be, I believe, used for the Women's World Cup, preparations for the Women's World Cup. Sydney Roosters back at the SCG against the Melbourne Storm. Look, sometimes these are good games. Sometimes these are absolute blowouts. Let's have a look at these sides now. As for the Roosters, Dylan Napa has been named on the reserve. Drew Hutchison has been named on the reserve. Their bench is Nafua White, Suo Wong, Egan Butcher, and Brandon Smith returning for the Roosters. Lindsay Collins named in jersey number 10 to back up from Origin. Nathan Brown named at lock for the side. Billy Smith in the centres. Sandon Smith and Luke Keary making up the halves. As for the Melbourne Storm, it doesn't look like there is any changes. Their bench is Wishart, Tom Eisenhuth, Tarek Sims and Bronson Garlick. I'm just trying to see that actually Will Warbrick was stood down, but it was through the bye week. So, yeah, all good there. And, yeah, Grant, Munster, they've all been named to play. The Roosters, they're not looking like a finals team. This is a game they need to win if they want any shot to do it. They're at home as well. They've been okay. I don't think they've been great. They were good early on at home, but their home record's not too great. As for the Storm, both of these teams are coming off a bye, so both can be fresh. It should be a really good contest. But ultimately, I think the Melbourne Storm will win. I think the Storm just find ways to win. They have been a bit unconvincing throughout the season, but if I'm going off recent weeks, I think the Storm have been a very good side, one of the best sides in the competition. So, look, like the Cowboys, I'm going to go the Storm to win by 10 points. I'll go a scoreline of the Storm 24 to Roosters 14. And again, might not play because of Origin, probably will, but I'm going to go with Xavier Coates riding that Origin confidence out on the wing. Xavier Coates, first try scorer. The Storm to pretty much end the Roosters season this Saturday night. Next up is a really tough game to tip. You've got the New Zealand Warriors going up against the Cronulla Sharks. Now, look, the Sharks for mine, they're flat track bully. They can't beat top 8 teams. We've seen it again and again. And the Warriors at this point of the season are sitting in the top 8, fighting for a top 4 spot. I believe they are around 6th, 7th position. I don't think they're in 5th just yet, but they are 6th, I think, from memory. Bunty Afoa is out for this one. Tane Tuapiki has been named on the reserves. He had a really nice game in the New South Wales Cup last week. Their bench is Freddie Lussick, Bailey Sirinen, Tom Arley and Dylan Walker. Sean Johnson has been named, but obviously kind of a watch this space probably with the birth of his child not too far away. As for the Sharks, Braden Hamueli has been named on the reserve, but that side that got the job over the West Tigers is ultimately getting another crack at it. Now, look, the Sharks have a great record against the Warriors. Earlier when these sides met, it was a fantastic game of football where the Sharks were putting on point, but the Warriors ultimately got the job done by a 2-point victory. Will it be the same result here? It is at home for the Warriors at this Go Media Stadium over in New Zealand. A really tough game to tip this one because the Sharks, they can't beat top sides, but other Warriors, have they been convincing enough for me? They go back to New Zealand a few weeks ago and get down by an understrength Rabbitohs side. So I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm probably going to go with the majority of against most people's tip. And I'm actually going to go the Sharks here, man. I'm going to go the Sharks. The Sharks need to prove that they can become a contender. They have some lethal attack. They can score points all over the park. I'm going to go the Sharks by 8. I think they can get it done. I'm going to go the Sharks 24 to the Warriors 16. I do apologise to the Warriors fans for not having hope in you this week. It was a great victory against the Parramatta Eels, a much needed victory against my Parramatta Eels, but I just don't think the Sharks are going to be as bad defensively as Parramatta, opening up in the middle for long range tries and being down 30-4 at halftime against, a full strength Sharks side with Nicho Hynes in it. So, yep, the Sharks for mine. I think they're going to win by 8 points, and my first try scorer, I'm going to go with Will Kennedy, maybe Nicho Hynes putting in a kick into the in goal, and Will Kennedy chasing and just, putting it down like that. So Will Kennedy, first try scorer. Cronulla to win in an upset over in New Zealand. Next up is the Panthers heading to Redcliffe to face the Dolphins. Now, I do have the lineups for these teams. Here they are. The big one that I have seen is jersey number 24 for the Penrith Panthers. Nathan Cleary has been named on the reserve. This has been the game that's been talked about as his return game as well. Only 2 months left to get themselves in a better spot than they are, and they're in a great spot right now, the Penrith Panthers, to, potentially win 3 straight premierships. I can't believe I'm saying that, but the Hammer and Kafusi have been named for the Dolphins. Josh Kerr has been dropped. He has been named as 18th man. Valence Tavare has been overlooked, and Brenko Lee, not Brenko Lee, Ewan Aitken. So Ewan Aitken and Hammer making up the halves. I was trying to work out what the change is there. But anyway, Valence Tavare has been dropped. Really interesting move by Wayne Bennett there, because I think he's been very, very good. No, he's a bit of a ball hog there, but very consistent player. Look, the Panthers, they look to back up their origin players that they do have, and they're going to be playing a Dolphins side that, got a gritty victory over the Titans. It was a back and forth game, but ultimately the Dolphins got the job done. Probably needed to win that game as well. Look, I think the Panthers will be too good. I think Nathan Cleary will play. I think he'll come in. I think that little hint of Nathan Cleary on the reserve means that we will see him on the weekend. I think the Dolphins can keep it close enough, but I still think it will be a 13-plus victory. I'm going to go the Panthers to win 32 points to 16. I think the Dolphins have a lot of attack in them. You know what? Because the Dolphins are the home side and things might be a little bit struggle early on for the Panthers, I'm going to go the Dolphins to score first. I'm going to go Felice Kafusi in his return game to score the first try, and the Panthers to win by 16 points. And the final game, which I will be at on Sunday at 6 o'clock, is the Parramatta Eels facing BKR Sport and Clarkie Gold Coast Titans. I'm looking forward to this one. AJ Brimson named to back up from Origin. Tino named to back up from Origin. David Fafita. They need to be there because this is a game where the Titans' season is just about, I don't think it's there just yet, but just about on the line in the next couple of weeks. Jacob Arlick has been named on the reserves. He had a fantastic debut last week. Isaac Lumi drops to the reserve. Ofahigi Ogden and Makatoa drop to the reserves as well. So the bench reads Ryan Madison, Andrew Davey, Joe Ofahengawi and Luca Moretti. Sean Lane is back. He's back in his jersey number 11. Bryce Cartwright moving into jersey number 12. Gutherson's back. Moses back. And that's about it. And Campbell Gillard. Obviously, it wasn't the result Parramatta fans were hoping for, but it was a bit of an expected one. We all just were, one-eyed fans and just tipping our team, hoping that we'd be able to get over the line. Thought Bailey Simonson tried his absolute heart out last week, and I think we missed Gutherson for some of those, try-saving tackles that he's known for. Dejan Arcee's running game at 7 looked fantastic, so looking forward to seeing more of him and that combination with Moses over the next few weeks without Dylan Brown. The Titans, they weren't able to beat the Dolphins, but they were able to get back into the game, score 20 plus points, which they're doing on an odd occasion. So look, I should be tipping them to score 20, but I'm not. I think Parramatta can bounce back here. I think in front of the home crowd, a disappointing performance. I think with, Gutherson back makes a lot to the side. Moses' kicking game and defence. And then, dare I say it, Campbell, Gillard and Paulo to have absolute blinders. One's on, one's off. That's how it goes. But let's go both of them to fire. I'm going to go the Eels 13 plus here. I'm going to go the Eels to win 30 points to 14. The Eels by 16 points at home. And I'm going to back Clint Gutherson as the first try scorer for this game. I don't think he'll get much origin time, but I still think he'll have a great game on Sunday. Such a good game that I think he might just score a double, which is paying $6. That's my tips for the Round Glow. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Check out the link in the description for channel merch. And I will see you guys tomorrow for my State of Origin Game 3 vlog. Go the Maroons!